Tell me the truth, Mom. Was he a monster or something else?
He wasn't a monster. Monsters still remember what it means to be human. Your father was the storm that learned to walk upright, the wrath of every forgotten soul made flesh. He didn't break the world, he punished it.
I'm not human. I'm something far worse. They like to whisper stories about monsters in the dark, but they never mention the ones walking beside them in daylight, the ones who learned to smile through clenched teeth, the ones who learned how to weaponize silence. They don't tell bedtime tales about me, because even their nightmares know better than to invoke my name. I used to bleed like everyone else. I used to feel things in full color, the electric joy, the gut-wrenching sorrow, the soft ache of hope. But I was gutted, hollowed out, left to rot in a shell that still moved, still breathed, still pretended. They took everything, every last shred of who I was, and ground it into dust beneath their boot heels. And so I changed. I didn't heal. I didn't recover. I evolved. There is no softness left in me. No tenderness to scrape together. No mercy tucked away in a corner. I burned it all. Set fire to the last remnants of humanity that clung to me like rot on bone. The part that begged for understanding, that cried in the quiet hours, that prayed for someone to see me, gone. What remains is something older than pain and colder than rage. A creature forged in betrayal, honed by abandonment, and baptized in the silence of being forgotten. I am not human. I am the echo of every scream that went unheard. I am the weight behind every door slammed shut. I am what happens when the world turns its back, one too many times. They say humans are defined by their empathy, their ability to love, their capacity to forgive. Then let the record show. I am not human. I don't love like they do. I don't reach out with trembling hands, hoping someone will hold them. Don't beg for apologies that were never coming. My hands are weapons now. My silence is a blade. My eyes, twin furnaces of judgment. When I look at the world, I see it for what it is. A pit of writhing, smiling liars dressed in borrowed grace. They made me into this. Every fake smile, every condescending nod, every time they left me behind, they carved another line into my soul until there was nothing left to carve, just scar tissue and steel. You want to see what happens when you destroy something that wanted to be good? This is what happens. I don't speak in apologies anymore. I speak in ultimatums. I don't fight to survive, I fight to dominate. I don't rise from the ashes, I carry the fire with me. They called me too much, too intense, too cold. They recoiled from my truth and tried to mold me into something easier to swallow. But I choked on their expectations until I spit them back out. I'm not a bitter version of a dream. I'm the nightmare they never planned for. Do I look broken to you? Because I'm not. I'm not the shattered thing crawling on the floor, begging for scraps of love. That version of me died quietly, and I did not mourn it. I'm something else now. Something worse. I was not born into greatness. I was carved out of chaos, molded by betrayal, sharpened by every hand that tried to hold me down. They thought they could steal my fire, bury me under their doubts, choke the breath out of my dreams. They thought wrong. I will take what's mine. Every scar on my body is a battlefield. Every tear I bled became a river that carried me closer to my destiny. I do not move through this world asking. I do not seek permission. I take. I claim. I conquer. Because the world doesn't hand over crowns. It hides them in the ruins of the broken, dares you to find them, dares you to bleed for them. They laughed when I stumbled. They mocked when I crawled. They whispered behind clenched teeth, waiting for me to break. But I am not made of the fragile glass they thought. I am steel forged in hatred and silence, tempered by nights spent talking to the darkness, bargaining with demons I learned to call by name. I will take what's mine. There is no white horse, No savior coming down from golden clouds. I understood that early. The hero, the villain, the survivor. I am all three. My own army, my own weapon, my own salvation. I learned to build from ash, to stitch my skin back together with threads of pure will. They taught me to kneel. I learned to stand. They taught me to beg. I learned to demand. Every lesson they tried to poison me with, I drank like medicine. Bitter at first, burning my throat, but now it runs through my veins like wildfire. I will take what's mine. They sit on thrones built from stolen dreams, propped up by the broken backs of the ones they crushed. They think they are untouchable, but even the highest towers crack when the ground shakes. And I am the earthquake they never saw coming. The transformation wasn't immediate. It never is. I grew into it, step by step, mistake by mistake, tearing away what didn't belong anymore. I shed my wheelness like an old coat, leaving it behind in the dirt where it belonged. There was no ceremony, no grand moment of awakening, just the slow realization that I was becoming something else. The first time I felt it, truly felt it, was in the silence. Do you know how loud silence can be? When the world stops, when the screaming fades, when there is no one left to hurt you, there it is, waiting for you. It presses in, crushing and suffocating, demanding to be acknowledged. I faced that silence, stared into it until it blinked first. I am not like them. I will never be like them again. They broke me, yes. But in breaking me, they unleashed something they could never control. I see it now. The fear in their eyes when they look at me. They see what I've become, but they cannot understand it. They see only the surface, the power, the strength, the untouchable force that stands before them. They cannot see the depths, the endless void that has taken root inside, and I would not have it any other way.